welcome back to the channel. Have you noticed the news about empty airports and mass flight cancellations in the US? It's not just about airline issues anymore. Recent policies under President Donald Trump's administration are shaking up travel, immigration, and even how airports operate. In this video, we are breaking down why airports are looking empty, how Trump's immigration policies are connected to this, how airports are coping with fewer travelers, and the big impact this is having on immigration to the US. So if you are planning to travel or migrate to the US, you need to watch this.
Canadian airlines are taking away flights to popular U.S. cities. This after many Canadian vacationers apparently are avoiding the U.S. entirely.
Well, if you're planning to fly to the U.S. this summer, you might notice fewer flight options. New data shows a massive drop in demand for air travel between Canada and the U.S., forcing airlines to cut seats and scale back routes.
You're walking into one of America's busiest airports, but it's dead silent. No TSA lines, no crowds, just echoing hallways and empty chairs. And no, this isn't 2020. This is right now, summer 2025. Tourism in America is collapsing, flights canceled, hotels empty, and a staggering 3 million international tourists are staying away this year. What was once a $2 trillion economic machine is now sputtering hard. And while no one's talking about it, today we are. Let's zoom out. Across the US, airports look like ghost towns. At JFK, LAX, and Las Vegas, terminals echo like abandoned malls. Visitor traffic is down 14% overall. That's a $21 billion wipeout in 2025 alone. Hotels, empty. Restaurants, bleeding revenue. Theme parks, losing crowds. For every 1% drop in international tourism, America loses $1.8 billion. This isn't a slump, it's a free fall. Let's talk about Canada, normally America's #1 tourist source. Flights from Canada to the US have dropped by 71% to 76%, depending on the route. That's not slow, that's a nosedive. And it's not just Canada. Europe? Flights down 17% to 28%. South America? Off by 10%. And shockingly, even Americans are cutting back on travel. TSA checkpoint traffic just recorded its first post-pandemic decline. So why is everyone staying away? 3 reasons. Politics, safety, and economics. Politics. The US is in global hot water. Trade wars, foreign policy friction, and a tidal wave of diplomatic tension. Earlier this year, Canada and the UK issued travel advisories warning about trips to the US. Even China told its citizens to reconsider. People listen when governments speak. Safety. Headlines don't help. Mass shootings, protests, rising crime. Fair or not, the US isn't seen as safe anymore. Economics. Inflation is eating away at vacation budgets. Flights are expensive. Hotels are worse. As one politician said, if people are financing burritos, a trip to Disney just isn't happening. And here's the part no one's saying out loud. Travel is becoming a luxury again. For the average family, flying anywhere is a budgeting nightmare. Add in fears about violence, visa delays, and long...
There's been a visible drop in airport activity across several US cities. Let's look at why. The first is flight cancellations. Airlines have been cancelling flights due to operational challenges, pilot shortages, mechanical delays, weather conditions, and rising fuel prices. But now immigration policies are adding another layer of flexibility. Then 2, travel restrictions and visa tightening. President Trump has introduced stricter visa reviews and immigration checks. For many international travelers, this means longer wait time for approvals and, in some cases, denied entry. Naturally, fewer people are flying into the US. The third, high travel costs. With fuel price climbing and airline costs increasing, fewer people can afford to fly. Combine that with the uncertainty around immigration rules, and airports end up with lower passenger traffic. The fourth is fear and confusion among immigrants. Many people who plan to migrate or visit family in the US are delaying their trip due to uncertainty around new travel rules and deportation crackdowns. This leaves airports looking quieter than usual. Then the fifth one is international airlines pulling back. Some international carriers have reduced flights into the US because passenger numbers have dropped, meaning less revenue for those routes. Now let's look at Trump policies and its connection to the airports. President Trump's approach to immigration and travel is a big factor here. Tighter visa scrutiny. All visa categories, student, work, and visitor, are undergoing more intense background checks. This has slowed down the flow of foreign travelers. Increased deportation measures. News of stricter deportation policies have made some international travelers hesitant to visit the US, even for short trips. Then focus on domestic travel. The administration has been vocal about America First, encouraging domestic tourism and business, but this shift means fewer international visitors filling airports. The next is immigration fee changes. Visa processing fees and application requirements have become more complex and expensive, making it harder for people to travel freely. These policies, combined with global travel uncertainties, result in fewer passengers arriving, fewer flights needed, and ultimately empty terminals. Now let's look at how airports are coping. Airports still have bills to pay, right? Staff salaries, maintenance, and operations. Here is how they are coping. One is cutting down operations. Some airports are closing certain gates and reducing staff hours to save money. Two is shifting to domestic flights. Since international flights have declined, airports are focusing more on domestic travelers, to fill the gap. Then third is technology upgrades. Airports are investing in self-checking, kiosks, facial recognition systems, and automated bagging handling to reduce manpower costs. The fourth is leaning on cargo. Many airports are boosting their cargo operations, with fewer passenger planes. Cargo flights help maintain revenue. Then the fifth one is promotional campaign. Airports and airlines are offering deals for domestic routes to keep terminal active. Let's look at the impact on immigration. This situation is not about empty airports, it's deeply affecting immigration. Visa applicants facing delay with fewer flights and tougher visa checks. People who have secure visas are struggling to find convenient flights to the US. Two is students and workers talk. International students and workers are finding it hard to start new opportunities because flight cancellation disrupts their schedules. Immigrants waiting to bring their families over for visits or events are facing disappointment as travel plans fall apart. Fourth thing is economic impact. A decline in international travelers and immigrants means less spending in the US economy. Tourism, hospitality, and even university are feeling the pinch. The fifth thing is pressure on immigration agencies. When flights are delayed or cancelled, immigrants often miss key appointments like visa interviews or green card renewals, creating backlog in the system. Let's now look at the bigger picture. This is not just about airports. It's about the future of US travel and immigration. For the short term, we'll see more stress on airlines and airports as they try to manage fewer passengers. Immigration services will also struggle with missed appointments and paperwork delay. For the medium term, if these policies stay strict, fewer international visitors will mean declining tourism revenue, which could push airlines to cut even more flights. So in the long run, for the long term, the US might see a slower pace of immigration, which could hurt industries that rely on foreign talent and workers. So what can you do in situations like this? If you are planning to travel or migrate to the US soon, here is how you can stay ahead. First thing is for you to book early and check airline policies. Always confirm your flight and have a backup route. Number two thing you should do is monitor immigration updates. Stay up to date with the latest announcements from the US Embassy or immigration offices. And third, plan visa and travel together. Don't wait until your visa is approved before thinking about flights. Some routes are getting booked fast or cancelled last minute. Then the fourth thing you can do is use trusted airlines and apps. Use flight tracking apps like Flight Radar or airline apps to stay informed about sudden cancellations. And the fifth thing you can do is stay informed about Trump policies. Keep an eye on new immigration rules or executive order that could affect your travel plans. Okay? Empty airports and cancelled flights are more than just a travel inconvenience. They are reshaping how people move in and out of the US. With Trump's policies tightening immigration, travelers need to be extra careful and prepared. So what's your take on this? Do you think these policies will help or hurt the US in the long run? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more updates on immigration and travel news. See you in the next one. Bye.